beginners, this is me, David, again, and I'm going to show you about Blender. Now first, when you get onto your computer, you'd not see Blender. Now, I know you're confused. I know you're like, David, we cannot find a blender that can make food on a computer. No, I'm not mentioning about that, okay, guys? I'm just saying we're going to find a different type of blender on this thing, okay? It's a software, okay? And it's very complicated, okay? So don't go like, I'm bad at this. I'm not built for Blender. I wish I could go to the kitchen and tell my mom I should never have Blender because I'm not a teenager yet. Teenagers know it. No, teenagers don't know that. They might not because you see, it's so complicated. It says complicated, very complicated. Like, how do you lift this house with no crane? How do you lift this house? You can't do it. No, you can't use your hands. Yeah, so yes, it's like that complicated, but let's not mention about that because that's out of the subject. Okay, so when you come onto your computer, you'd see a plain old screen with nothing and just other files you have been using and recycle it, but don't press it. Okay, so you have to go, onto Google and search it. Okay? So when you come on and find it, you'd find this Blender. Now this is a new Blender. It is download Blender 2.2.92.0. This is the new version. Okay, so you need your parents for this, okay? You can't just go nuts. You can't just go nuts on the computer. No. You might do something wrong when the computer's like, and then you're like, oh no. And then everything you do, and then everything is gone, okay? I hope that's not going to happen. So you better call your parents, okay? Because some kids think they're smarter, but I know they're not. So you better tell your parents to help you, okay? But if the parents say no, then fine, you can't use it. Anyway, yes, this is bot 1. I'm going to say it. Okay, so after you press it and download Blender and all that, you'll get to this, the Blender. This is what it would look like for you beginners. Okay, this is what it will start to look like. Now, guys, I know you might be confused, but I have to tell you that mine is the little older version. But don't worry, yours might look newer than mine. But don't worry, okay? Because they still both have the same thing. Anyway, when you come on, you'd not see these blends. These are just my blends I've got. You see, when you come on, everything is blank, only with these things ready for you. Now, this is very good and useful. Now, okay, beginners? Okay, so then you can make some, and then you get these come in. You get your Blender files, and you also need to name them. Okay, anyway, I'm just gonna press the edge. Okay, so when you come in, Blender is here. Welcome to Blender, everyone. Welcome to Blender, beginners. This is Blender. Now, we're first going to show you the basics of Blender. Okay, so first let's go to File. File is where you often come. Here's New. If you don't like it, you can get a new one. And these are the things you can get. General is just regular Blender with this block, of course, you see. So File, you've got General, 2D animation, Sculpting, made to make faces and make things, and then VX and then Video Editing. Those two, VX and Video Editing, you don't often use them, so no, let's not care about that. Open a new Blender file, Then open recent. Open the ones that you often use it, which is mine is Identity Blend over here. Those are one of mine. Now we've got reverb. I don't need that, okay, because we don't often use them. We never. Okay, we never often use them. Next we've got recover. Okay, recover. Let's say your whole Blender file got suddenly laggy. Let's say the whole thing is like Blender's got stuck, and then suddenly, okay, this often happens, but Blender deletes itself. Look, that would happen, and you're like, no, and start punching the computer. I know that would not happen, but let's just say that happened. Okay. I know you're not going to punch the computer, but let's say you got so mad because this happened 100 times and you start punching the computer. Don't do that, okay? Get Blender back and then go recover, okay? And then do auto save, which would save the ones that you've done or last season. Now, I don't often use that, okay? Save, yes, you need to use that. Then save as, you need to use that. Save copy, don't use it. Link and all this. All these guys at the bottom, they're not useful. We don't often use them. But they're useful anyway. Okay, so let's go to edit. Edit, these are the two that you often use. Okay, so one is undo. Let's say 1,000 blocks. Let's say you made an animation and 1,000 blocks started falling down when you did not like it. You're like, I'm so mad. So you like hate it. And like, how do I delete it? No, you just do undo. Okay, so it'll undo one part that you did. You have to press it like, you might need to press it like 10 times. Beep for the whole thing to be gone. Actually, you need to do redo. Let's say you like it and you're like, oh, why did I undo it? How do I redo it? Well, you just press redo and it'll about like 10 times and then boop, it comes back. Yeah. So these are the two you often use. These two, blah 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 blah. Don't use them. These are not useful. You don't often use them, okay? Render. Okay, render. Let's say you finished your thing. Okay, we've got render image, which is the thing you just built with no animation. Next, render animation, something you've animated. Then render now, audio, and all these. You don't often use them. Okay. Next, we've got new window. Okay. I don't ever use them. Look, it's not useful. You don't often use these. You can use new window. You can use new main window. But all this is, don't need it. Help. Let's say your whole Blender file exploded. Like, I'm not saying it blew up. I'm just saying let's say it broke down. And you're like, why did my box disappear? I'm so mad. We're like, I'm confused. Let's see, of course I told you about that. Okay, anyway, let's say you were happily busy doing your business when suddenly you got confused. Your whole Blender file turned red. That would not happen, but let's just say that accidentally happened. Because like, guys, that cannot happen. But let's just say it deleted your block. Let's just say you're like, I'm confused. How do I make this block a round circle? Well, don't worry. I mean sphere. Well, you use these to help you do it. Okay, these are the things you often use. We've got menu and all that, tutorials, telling you videos and support. I don't think we have to use them. Okay, we've got this, we've got that, and report a bug. I'm not saying like you go to your bathroom, you're like, oh dear, I think I better bring my computer. You go out of the bathroom, go and grab your computer and say, wait, that's nonsense. Okay, so let's say you've got a blender. Okay, this is not what this means. Okay, so report a bug does not mean like this. You're confused on Blender. And you're like, I don't know. I think I better go to Bob's room. So you go to Bob's room and say, Mr. Fly, I need your help. I need your help. I need your help. And the fly automatically tells you about it. No, that is not that of a bug. Okay? Or because that would be stupid. You'd be like a person on Mars upside down. Okay? That is stupid to do. Okay? Look, that is not what I mean. Okay? That is not it. It's just people don't understand it. It's just telling the computer, and the computer automatically does it. It just automatically puts you to Google, and you're like, okay, let me type in. Blah, 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 blah. How to light a monkey head on fire. It automatically comes in. How to light a monkey head on fire. Just throw sticks at it. I know that is not true, but let's just say you wanted to make one. Okay, then. Go blah 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 blah. It tells you all about it. It gives you videos about it. Yeah. No, it doesn't. It just gives you words, and I go mad about it. Okay, this is don't use it. Okay, I don't ever use it. Okay, let's get to the basic ones. Okay, guys, you know this is very confusing. Okay, so. Well, I'm gonna view the top ones. Nope, I'm gonna view these. Okay, so object mode. We're in object mode. Okay, this is where you can do this. Let me just demonstrate. And you press Control Z to get rid of it. But yeah, object mode is where you can move things, rotate them, scale them, and transform. Don't use that, okay? So like, if you're in a hurry, like, oh dear, I have 100 homeworks waiting for me, I better do it. You just use that one, okay? And it'll help you. Anyway, but object mode, it's got lots of modes. We've got edit mode. This is important. Let's say you wanted to make my head. Okay. It's very confusing, but let's just say you wanted to make my head. Fine, just get a sphere, okay? Go to edit mode. Okay, you have to select the sphere first. Click. Then you might need to use the mouse right button to do that. Okay, just select it. Okay, and just press edit mode, and you go to edit mode, and you can do anything you want. Like that. Okay? You can then you can do that, all that. Anyway, let's just get out of that. Well, there's a quick solution to do that too. The quick way to get into edit mode is just press tab. Get into edit mode. And get back to edit. And when you want to go back to object mode, just press tab again, and you get back to object mode. Isn't that clever, guys? Okay, that's all. Next we've got view, okay, toolbar. Look, these are not important, but I don't use them. But one of them you might need to use is frame all. Okay, let me demonstrate. Let's say I got too far. I don't know where my block is. Guys, where am I? Just press view, frame all, and you get back to your spot. Anyway, yeah, let me just undo that. Nope. Yeah, so, yeah, that's how it goes. Anyway, yeah, that's how it goes. Okay, next we've got select, all and none. Look, those are not important. You can do all. You can do box select. They're very good. Okay, box select is like this. Select the whole thing. Yeah, that's how box select works. Yeah. Okay, and all. Just select every single thing. And move them up to the sky. Yeah. No, just press Control Z for that. Anyway, next, when you click, let me show you. Next, we've got add. Let's say you wanted to add something. Okay, go to mesh. Let's say I just want to just add a sphere. Okay, yay! Like that. Let's just delete that for this instant. Just press delete button and it's gone. Yeah, so that's what add mesh. It gives you all these blocks. Okay. Next we've got curve. We've got all these, but they're not important. These are one of the things that you might always use. Mesh. Okay, very important. You always use it. Sometimes you use armature. Sometimes you use a light. Camera. I never knew there was a camera. Okay, this is pretty confusing. There's a camera right inside. Yes, so yeah, there's that. You can add cameras. These are the things that you often use. Mesh and armature. And light. Those are the only things that you often use, okay? So mesh, I already showed you all these blocks you've got here. Armature is just when you get some bone armature parts. That way, let's say you make a snake. Okay, then you can go to armature, okay, get some armatures to make those bones. Awesome, right? And then you can resize them and all that. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, next we've got object. Look at that. Look, objects, you don't often use them. But let's say you got a monkey head for some reason. And you wanted to light it on fire. Then you just go. Don't press rigid body, okay. Quick effects. Fur, explode. Smoke. And quick liquid. Like lava. Next, we're gonna view these. Okay, this is what you often use. Let me show you. First one, I already showed you. Move it around. You've got the y-axis, z-axis, and the x-axis. Let's just undo that for the present. Next, we've got rotate. The y-axis, the x-axis, and the y-axis again, and the z-axis. Yeah, those are the turning, and then we've got scale. Okay. Scale in the x-axis, the z-axis, no, the y-axis, and then the z-axis. Okay. But one of the useful ones is this. This ring automatically scales the whole thing. This is not supposed to happen. Yeah, so yeah, there's that. Next we've got transform. Every single thing. Move it. Hey, I want to make it big. Hey. I want to move it up. There's all that. Okay, but you don't use it, okay? You don't often use it. Unless you go in a hurry. Yeah, but these two, you don't often use them. Yes. Next we've got all this top. Now look, this is gonna take a long time. Anyway, so we've got modeling. Look. First we're in layout, which is where you can move and all that. Okay, let's just get to that. Next we've got modeling. Look, when you go to modeling, everything turns into edit mode. So that's also a quick way. And you can and just move it around. We've got our tools. We've got, hey, cut in half. It's called a loop cut. Next we've got sculpting. I want to make a head. I want to make a monkey head. Let me do it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's one of them. That's not supposed to happen. No. Yeah, sculpting. You've got all these, so you can sculpt it around. Which is complicated, so it's not for you yet. Okay, it's not for you yet. For new beginners yet, okay? Next, you'll be editing. Okay, so next we're going to go to texture paint. Now this is what texture paint would look like. Now I'm just holding middle mouse button to move around. Now I do not prefer this because I don't know how to use it yet. Though I know it's used to, like, you know, color it in and all that. So here's this workspace you're working in. And they highlight it purple, so then it would be the thing that you're coloring in. And there are all the materials you've got here. You've got soften, you've got smear, clone or something like that, fill, and mask, and this one. Yes. So texture paint is a very useful tool, but I don't recommend using it. I recommend, okay, this is shading. I recommend using shading. No, I'm just doing this with my middle mouse button. I'm just doing that to zoom in. Now, you've got the principal shaders down here. Now, it looks complicated, but when you get used to it, it'll get easier. So you see, here are the colors you can change it to. Yeah, and yes, this is where you can change the colors. There was this button for some reason. And there are other things that you can do with this block. We've got a workspace over here, and we've got the same principal shaders right on here. They're a little bit different, but yeah, still the same. Next, we've got animation. This is where you make your characters and things move. Oh, but before we get to there, we have to show you these. Now, these are just the same ones that you find in layout. There's still the same things. Yep, and here are these buttons over here, but you don't often use them. No, you don't often use them. So, for you beginners, I don't think it's for you yet. But yes, shading is for you. Okay, so next is animation. Now, animation is just where you can animate your things. But we're not going to get to that now, okay? So here is the bottom where this is where you put in your keyframes. Let me just demonstrate. That means I just click this, insert keyframe, move it, put it here, insert keyframe, and then move it, and put this thing over. Okay, so put it over here, and then move it, and then press insert keyframe, and on and on and on until you got it. And then you play your animation, and everything goes out well. Well, but we're not going to get to that yet. Anyway, so here are all the things that you can find. Oh, and this is just where you can add in the color that you've added in shading. And here is the one where there's shadows and all that. Here, and when you're doing animation, you better pay attention to this camera. Here's the camera view over here. And here are other tools that you don't often use on the side. That I just showed you. Here's a light to help you see it. Next we got rendering. This is when you finish rendering your animation or picture that you made. And yeah, but you can't get right to here yet because you have to render your thing first, and then you can see what it's in here. Yeah, so yeah, it's very good. And there are all things over here. So
So we've got tool, we've got image, view, and these. But we don't use those. You can just use a view or something like that, or image or something like that. But we don't often use them. Next we got this. We don't often use them at all. So for beginners, the other tools, they're not for you yet because they're too complicated. So yeah. But when you are an expert and get used to it, then you can do the other two. Anyway, yeah. Now let's view the sides. So here are the things, okay, on the sides. Okay, so over here we've got these. We don't often use them though. We've got a workspace and all that. You can close all those. We've got this. Yeah, they've set it to something. And you can search some things up here. Next we've got this. Has lots of things that offers for you. So yeah, these they're like the axes, you know, the X and the Y, and up here there's the axes here too. The X and the Y and the Z. Next we've got all these frame start, but these we don't often use them though. Next we've got this. It's like a pictures. This we don't often use them either. Next we've got this. So these are the objects. Camera and all that. Next we've got this. This is where you can color things and like that. The background. Let me demonstrate. Let me just turn it on and you know all that. And you can like change the color of this background. And we've got this. A light. Very useful. Next we've got this. Yeah, you can use that.